The other thing I was reading about that I find interesting is this article that you had sent me about junk food and that it is no longer a thing and we should stop focusing on it. We have to decolonize
That's right.
our minds. And one of the ways to do that, I had no idea how progressive I was until I read this article. These are things I have been doing for years. I have been making these kinds of choices for years. Now, I want you to tell people a little bit about what's going on because there is a company and they sell food and they have hired a woman from Africa.
Yeah.
To tell people that worrying about what you eat and what you put into your body is inherently bigoted.
That's
right.
That's right.
In some degree.
And you should eat without guilt.
Agreed. And you should eat without guilt. And the people that are hyper-focused on lean meats, healthy fats, proteins, the good carbs, those people are fascists.
That's right.
And those people, and by the way, I have suspected that for a long time because they are a little, strange. But I had no idea this was laid out beautifully because occasionally you feel guilty for eating something. And that is not right. And actually your body, it's so deeply entrenched, this feeling of shame and guilt and racism and, all of this stuff. It's so deeply entrenched in us. Sometimes after you eat something, your body will even feel sick. But that is because your body is a racist. Like even in your mind, if you eat a bunch of ho-hos, donuts, tasty cakes, Suzy Q's, yodels, Yankee Doodles, Snowball, whatever. Could go on here for a while, but you might feel sick. But that is your body reinforcing the type of racist attitude, bigoted attitude. Now, the company that hired, who is this woman?
So her actual name is Kara Niem Diop.
Yes.
She is in this viral sort of Instagram video here that the LA Unified School District did share on their Instagram, promoting food neutrality.
The LA School District. Now, thank God. Thank God, because kids should learn at a very young age that there's absolutely no difference between the foods. This is something that should be taught to children as young as possible. There are no difference. There's no difference between a carrot and a carrot cake. There's nothing. It's only Nazis, Nazism. So tell us, because the LA School District ran this ad or this promotion.
Yeah, they shared it. They promoted it.
And tell us about it, because I'm very interested in this.
So, and Francis, you can pull up the video they have here, but basically what they're trying to explain to the people.
They ever call you Franny Lou?
Basically what they're trying to explain to the students is that there's food neutrality in the world.
I like this.
There's
now,
not a bad and a good.
Remember net neutrality?
Oh, yes.
What was that? Because that was huge. Don't Google it if you don't know what it is.
I think net neutrality was...
That was a big deal.
That was a big deal, but...
And then everybody was like, is it going to happen or not? So this is something else.
Yeah, this is something totally different, where there's a misnomer that some foods are bad and some foods are good.
Yes.
And we need to eradicate these ideas. There are only 3 types of bad foods. Foods that are rotten.
Okay.
Foods that are filled with poison. And foods that I think...
here's the define poison, right?
Right.
Right. That's the
Right.
But I like this. So poison food, like Vladimir Putin when he poisoned Alexander Livchenko with polonium.
Yes.
If you were to put polonium in a taco, it would be bad.
Yes.
But other than that, everything's good.
That's right.
Okay. So food neutrality means I don't judge the food I'm eating.
That's right.
I eat without guilt. I want ice cream, I eat it. I want cake, I eat it. I want candy, I eat it. If I don't want vegetables, I don't eat them. And I'm a child, and I'm learning this from my school district. This is what my school district is telling me on their Instagram,
Right.
which I probably don't follow because no young people are really on Instagram. They're all on TikTok watching, I don't know, people get hit by cars, but whatever. It's still maybe healthier than the Instagram promotion being shoved down their throats by their school district, which is crazy.
And people were so horrified by this, they looked into who this woman worked for, and on her LinkedIn page, she works for Mondelez International.
Which is what?
Chips Ahoy, Oreo.
But so what? To me, I don't want to impugn her credibility because she works for Chips Ahoy. If somebody that works for Oreo and Chips Ahoy, Nabisco, whoever owns them, Mondelez, if they have a good non-racist idea, then let's hear it. Can we actually play?
Yeah, can you
let's
play it,
play the actual promo. Can we get some sound on this bad boy?
No, are they moldy? I mean, are they poisoned? Are you allergic?
No, I'm just saying.
You're judging my food choices based on a false standard of health again, aren't you? Guilty.
Diet culture, fat phobia, and systems of oppression have created false hierarchies of food, and it shows up everywhere.
For instance,
Yes.
simple thought patterns like earning food through exercising, or that dessert is the reward for the punishment of eating vegetables.
Right.
Remember that you do not need to earn food.
We are all incorrectly taught from a young age
Yes.
that our size,
Yes.
and therefore the foods that we eat,
Correct.
are markers of our self-worth.
Correct.
Moralizing food can lead to harmful relationships with food.
Correct.
And disordered eating.
Thank you.
Instead of focusing on good and bad choices, try to approach food with neutrality in mind.
Yes.
The only foods that are bad for you
Right.
are foods that contain allergens, poisons,
Right.
and contaminants.
Or if someone's hitting you with it.
Food that is
Like a
spoiled,
frozen
which
food that someone's
otherwise
hitting you with, that could also hurt you. Like a frozen steak if you hit someone. I mean, this is right on. I'm right on with these people. They're right on because they get it. If you eat a donut or if you eat a salad, the only difference is how you look at it and society is judging you.
Yeah.
That's the really only difference in it. Like if you sit down and have a bowl of donuts instead of a salad for lunch, that you feel the same. I'm telling you, go and eat a bowl of ice cream with candy for lunch. In an hour, you'll feel the exact same as if you have a salad. It's the same feeling. The only difference is that if you eat a salad, you'll be awake. But you're still alive. See, if you eat a lot of carbs or sugar, you go to sleep right afterwards. And if you eat a salad, you don't. But you're still technically alive after each meal. So that's what they're getting at. You might be asleep, but you might be not as responsive in a vehicle, but you're still technically on Earth. You're in it. You're still in the game. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I know a lot of people are going to be offended by this. There's something I like about it, food neutrality, being able to just say, I'm done with the shame. I'm done with the guilt. If there's something I see that I want to eat, I'm going to eat it. And I shouldn't, the idea that vegetables are healthy and junk food isn't, is what do they call it? A false food standard?
Yes, it's a false food standard.
But that's correct. Because it was put into place. It was put into practice.
False hierarchies of food.
False hierarchies of food. These things are all put into practice by people that were doctors or people that were scientists and that looked at the way these foods impacted your body, but they didn't take into account Lizzo and here come the big girls. They didn't take into account, you know what I mean? There's so much more to science than just the actual science of it. There's just a lot more fun to be had. And as a big person, I'll tell you right now, I'm telling you, I feel liberated by this because I always felt that when I was eating a lot of bad food, I was doing something wrong. And I felt bad, and my body felt bad, and I felt like I was eating because I was in pain. But now I realize I'm actually just being neutral. It's all neutral, and nothing is really bad or good. And if I were to swap out all of the bad foods I eat, and by the way, I'd like to take this a step further and include narcotics. We have been told by an unfair system that crack and heroin are inherently bad for you. This is a false virtue. This is a system set up that doesn't recognize the realities. I want you to think about a radical term, narcotics neutrality. There is no, I have a glass of water, I'm good, I smoke meth, I'm bad. That isn't real. It shouldn't be real. There is no difference between drinking tea, a nice Earl Grey tea, maybe a bit of lavender on your porch, and setting the back of your head on fire with a big bowl of glass. There's no difference at all. The difference is that we have been taught unhealthy attitudes about meth. That everyone who does it is Southern. That they do it in a barn. That they're all running around afterwards. That they're not trustworthy. That they steal your mail. That they'll try to take your identity. That they're not good parents. We've been taught this by a system that seeks to literally criminalize meth culture. You're criminalizing meth culture, which is groups of people getting together and figuring out how to make meth in different open air spaces, barns, abandoned buildings, things like that. It is a culture. It is not something that can be criticized or criminalized by people not participating in it. I think this is great. This seems to be a good idea. And I'm glad that they're putting it on the Instagram page of where?
The LAUSD department page. It was specifically their the Los Angeles Unified School District. Yeah, it was on their Instagram page.
Thank God.
Their Human Relations and Diversity Department shared it on Instagram.
End the shame. When I went to my friend Ryan's house, we're talking early in my life. I was maybe in 8th grade, 7th grade. His parents were alcoholics and they lived in filth. And the coolest thing, though, about his house, he would get hit, which was sad. But the coolest thing about, and I don't think he deserved it. I think they would just hit him. Now, but that being said, he had like Lucky Charms. And we in my house, people would be like, hey, we can't eat that. We could go Honey Nut Cheerios, but Lucky Charms is like too much. But Ryan had the best candy and the best cereal and everything like that because his parents were early adopters in this food neutrality. They knew. They understood. That's just the way, that this is the way of the world, and I'm happy to embrace it.